Hello and welcome to the third Skyfarm devlog, where I show you where development is at the moment, what's been happening in the background, and what is planned in the future. A lot has happened since June, so let's get started. So I finally had time to implement the new level design, which I think makes a huge difference. There's more space to decorate, to put stuff, to garden overall, and you see there's like two different vibes happening. One is like this Art Deco skyscraper, and the other is more like the concrete brutalist community building. It's so nice to finally walk around in it and, you know, see all the world building come to life. There's a lot of new objects. I didn't make those myself. I had help from a friend who modeled them. I generally love it. I think it adds a lot. Things are not perfect yet. There's still a lot of texturing and just details to take care of. But generally, I'm really happy. I think it makes sense to have a little more space so it's not as claustrophobic as it maybe was before. Where did the cat go? There he is. Good boy. Generally also there's a lot of new items and furniture. They're not fully implemented yet, so I haven't like done the whole prefabs, and I have like blueprint scriptable objects so that people can craft them. So I haven't done any of that, but they are standing around and giving chill vibes, and they will be implemented soon. There's also some that have special functionalities, like this wood chipper that you know, we'll be able to make mulch with. Another thing I wanted to do is add these new weather types. So there's also a cloudy day where the clouds are kind of hanging low between the skyscrapers, and there's it's really clear, crisp air, blue skies. You see, it's not implemented yet either, but I kind of experimented quite a bit with it, like if I should use particles or something else. I ended up using just quads that have a cloud shader on them, so I think it's the easiest for performance, and also I really like the look. It's much nicer than having particles, for example. So another thing I did is concentrate a little bit on the writing and the world building, so the whole NPC system and all that, because after going to Gamescom in August and kind of the crunch hours in the months leading up to it, I needed some time away from the computer to recuperate. I'll talk about Gamescom in just a little bit, but basically this was like one of the reasons why I wanted to change it up a little bit and get into the writing. These are things that aren't fully implemented yet. It's more like sketched out ideas and things that are planned. Basically, after the big flood happened, the city doesn't have a central government anymore, so it consists of these kind of self-governed communities that have a little bit their own rules and governments. So some are maybe more autocratic, whilst others are very, you know, community governed. And most of them are pretty autonomous, but others are actively trading with each other. And one thing they all have in common is that they have these sky farms that provide food for them. I want there to be a relationship and romance system, so I started sketching out the bachelors and, you know, other NPCs and their character traits, special interests, things like that. And since you can't physically like just walk to other sky farms to talk to them or trade or gift, there needs to be another kind of system. So what the sky farms are using is a local network called FarmSpace. Yes, it's a little bit like MySpace. I was very inspired by old MySpace pages. And that's where they can like post tasks and also show a little bit more about their characters and interact with each other as well. If you do tasks for them, you'll increase your friendship level, and this will allow you to, you know, befriend them on this network and learn more about them, and also give you access to their special interest items. Like William, he's a big tech nerd who has automated his farm, so from him you might get artificial lights and pumps, things like that, while Summer is more specialized in animal husbandry. Ivy loves aquaponics, and Max is like this angsty biologist who loves creating new plant hybrids. You get the gist. Each of them has their own character and kind of special interests, and if you befriend them you will kind of get access to that. And to fulfill the tasks you need to use the drone transport. And I'm honestly looking really forward to work on this. As I said, it's not implemented yet, but it's like the last main big system that is missing from the vertical slice. So that's definitely something I will be working on the next few months. So another thing I've been writing up is seasonal festivities, as we know it from other much beloved games. So each season ends in a special event. Spring has a flower festival, summer has bonfires, autumn has a moon festival with some special foods attached to it, and winter has lanterns that rise all around the city. So now, let's get to Gamescom. It all began last spring when I got accepted into the She Got Game program by Helvetia, which is like the Swiss Arts Foundation. And if you're a female game designer in Switzerland or any of the partner regions, I highly recommend applying there. It's really nice community. I met so many wonderful, inspiring people there. Anyways, through that program, I got the opportunity to go to Gamescom in Cologne with the Swiss Games delegation. So their booth is in the business area of the fair. So it's not as crazy as going to the indie arena, but still after a few days I was definitely very dead. So to prepare, I mainly had to get my pitch deck ready and schedule meetings with publishers and other industry people, and of course also get a playable prototype that is not too buggy and kind of looks alright. So together with my dear friend Anna, who also worked on some of the 3D models for Skyfarm, we finally went to Cologne in August, end of August, where we started setting up the booth, and I went to my first meeting, and it was really exciting, just I guess for both of us. We've never been to Gamescom before, so it was super exciting and also slightly overwhelming to get an idea for what is happening when, and it's just a lot is going on in Cologne in this week. So on Tuesday we showed Skyfarm also at Courage Cologne, which is like a side event where people can drink and play prototypes. It was really fun. We met like so many amazing people, but it was the night before Gamescom officially started. And on Wednesday morning I was just destroyed. Like I had a headache, my voice was dying, social battery running on empty already, and it was just the start of the main event. It was dire, but thankfully I had Anna together. I think we pulled through well, and it also got better. Like it was really fun experience. I also happened to try and fix like a very small visual error that I saw while setting up the booth, and by trying to fix that, I messed up the whole game loop. And it was really dumb because I didn't properly version control the project, because usually I work at home with my Windows PC, and I only took a Mac laptop to Gamescom, and there I didn't properly set up anything. I just copy pasted my Unity folder and did stuff to it, and so when I broke something it was really difficult to go back to the state before. I kept trying to fix it a little bit, but it kept reappearing throughout all of Gamescom. But it wasn't a huge issue because most people just play the game for like a few minutes to get an idea of it, so it wasn't a big deal. And also Anna and me were always there to kind of help them if they ran into the bug. There was like a way to go around it, but it was a bit stressful, a bit stupid. I felt really silly. So I guess my main takeaways from going to Gamescom was that for wishlists it didn't really do anything or much, because I guess we were in the business area and the public area would be much better suited for that. Hello, editing Lena from the future here. We just passed the 5,000 wishlist mark, and I'm very excited. So I just wanted to share that and say thank you for all of you for being part of this journey. Yay! But it was super inspiring. We met really cool people, other developers especially, or people who are interested in similar topics, like games that are slightly educational or maybe also about permaculture. There was some people working on a permaculture game, for example, and they came up to see what I've been working on and doing. So for networking, inspiration, feedback on the gameplay, I would say it was really worth it. It was a great experience overall, and also a big shout out to the other Swiss game devs. It was really fun being at the booth with them and just connecting. And also the ones from New Zealand, they have a lot of cool people. And I hate to admit it, but they did have the better chocolate, so there's that. And I guess now it's time to go back to developing. I have planned a lot these coming months, so I'm really looking forward to finalizing the vertical slice finally. One thing that's been on my mind is when to release a demo. I know some people recommend doing it really early because then it's, you know, much easier to get wish lists, but obviously it also needs to be quite polished, so I'm honestly not quite sure like what's the best move. But for sure I will do that sometime next year. But until then, I will definitely continue to update you on all the channels, but especially Discord, where I will also share new builds for playtesting. So please join if you haven't, and tell all your friends and family to wishlist Skyfarm on Steam. And thank you for listening. Bye!